You know what? I think it's the perfect time to make an update on the M1 and M2 patterns of each style in this game. Hey guys, GearUP here, back again with another video. If you don't know, with the combat overhaul adding M1 Feints and some shadow changes happening to the game's pre-existing styles, along with the fact that new styles and reworks have occurred since the last M1/M2 patterns video, I feel like it's best to actually provide a video that updates what we know about the M1 and M2 strings of each style, how M2 Feints interact with M1s, and how M1 Feints interact with M2s. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. If you guys like the video, you know what to do. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and join the Discord down below. And of course, massive shout out to the 5 members of the GearUP channel: Cool Guy Flunker, Arlaws, Lil Z, Brownoi, and Mercenary. This video is brought to you by GearUP Booster. They're the reason why I have such good ping, and of course, they're the reason why I'm so good at this game. I can't thank GearUP Booster enough. They've done a lot for this channel and for this community, as well as for my content. So please, install GearUP Booster, use their internet carriers to carry yourself to victory and become one of the best at this game. Unlike the last couple of videos I've done covering this topic, I'm not going to extend this to a 30-minute video with bloated information that can be condensed into a 10-12 minute summary, because fundamentally this game's combat isn't that complicated. It's very simple, and as a result, how styles are designed is very simple as well. A general rule for M1 patterns in this game is that when an M1 is whiffed or landed on the opponent, it moves on to the next part of its M1 string. So for example, if you have a 3-part M1 cycle that has a right, left pattern, if you throw the first right or land the first right, regardless of what happens, you'll move on to the next right, and when that's thrown or landed, they'll move on to the next left. When it comes to M1 patterns, there are 3 main categories. There are M1s that alternate between left and right, there are M1s that only come from the left side, and there are M1s that consist of a 3-part cycle, typically being right, left. There is also a 4th category that specifically belongs to switch hit, where its M1s are thrown based on whether or not he has his left foot forward or right foot forward, or alternatively, whether he's moving to the left or the right. So if he has his left foot forward, that means he's moving to the left, that means he's throwing a left jab, and vice versa. Going by rarity, in the alternating M1s category, we have all the uncommon styles, so basic, long guard, smash, turtle, and counter. We have all the rare styles, so trickster, corkscrew, chimera, charge, and hammer. We have hands low, wolf, bullet, hawk, iron fist, freedom with whirlwind and smash modes, chronos, and shotgun. In the 3-part combo category, we have Ippo, being a right, left combo, and Slugger, which has a left, right combo. However, I have been informed that sometimes it gets this bug where it has an alternating combo instead, where it alternates between left and right. I haven't been able to verify it myself, nor do I have footage of anything like that still happening with the latest update. Now, for the one-side M1 combo or M1 string, we have Hitman, Ghost, and Freedom Flicker mode. They all have their M1s only coming from the left side. Finally, we have Switch Hit, which has the characteristic of its M1 side being dictated by which side he's moving towards, or rather, which foot he has forward. So if he's moving to the right side, he has his right foot forward, therefore his next M1 will be a right, and vice versa. As for M2 patterns for each style, there are 5 categories, that being alternating M2s, M2s that come from the right side, M2s that come from the left side, 3-part M2 combos, and M2 string that's based on which side the style's moving towards, which belongs to switch hit. When he's moving towards the left side, that means he's going to throw a right M2, which is typically indicated as well by which foot he has stepped back. So when he's moving to the left, he has his right foot stepped back, therefore he's going to throw a right M2, which is the flip side of the M1 he'd throw next. So, for example, if he's feinting an M2 that comes from the right side or your left, that means his M1, if he feints, is going to come from his left side or your right, so you'll have to dodge to the right, for example. This is going to be important for later when we cover feints. When it comes to which style falls under what category, in the alternating M2s category, we have long guard, hands low, bullet, hawk, iron fist, freedom in smash mode, and Ippo. In the one-sided right category, we have basic, turtle, counter, trickster, corkscrew, chimera, hammer, freedom in whirlwind, base shotgun, slugger, hitman, ghost, and freedom flicker mode. For the one-sided left category, we have smash, charge, wolf. However, wolf's follow-up is right-handed, and Prodigy shotgun. When it comes to the 3-part M2 combo, that being a right-right-left combo, the only style that has this characteristic is Chronos, which is pretty weird, but nice to know nonetheless. And of course, we have the 5th category being Switch It, where depending on which side he's moving towards or which foot is stepped back, he'll be throwing a right or left M2. For example, if he's moving towards the left, his right foot is stepped back, therefore he's going to throw a right M2. As for how M2s interact with M1s, when you throw out an M2, your M1 will switch to the next side it should come from next, which means that if you have alternating M1s, if you throw out an M2 and you're on a right M1, that means your next M1 will become a left M1. If you M2 again, it will become a right M1 once again. That also means if you're using something like Ippo, when you throw on M2, it'll move into the next part of your 3-part string. So if I throw out my first right M1, I should be on my next right M1. However, if I throw out M2, it'll move into the next M1 in my string, which means the left M1 that's in the final part of my 3-part string. On the other hand, your M1s will never affect which side your M2 comes from. It just won't affect your M2s whatsoever. So if you just threw out an M2 that comes from the right and throw out an M1, your next M2 will always come from the right. Nothing will change that. Now, for how feints interact with M1s and M2s. When you throw out an M1 feint, an M1 is considered thrown when you do the feint in the first place. However, because the M2 itself also switches which M1 your side comes from, that means it essentially considers your M1 that you just feinted as not thrown, and therefore your next M1 will be from that same side. As for 3-part M1s, since an M1 feint technically progresses your M1 string twice, that means, for example, if you're on the first part of your M1 string with Ippo, so your first right M1, when you do an M1 feint, your next M1 will come from the left. And of course, since you're throwing out an M2 as a result of the M1 feint, that means your M2 string progresses once. So if you have alternating M2s and you just threw out a right M2, your next M2 will come from the left. On the other hand, when you feint an M2 into an M1, the M2 is not considered thrown. Therefore, if you have M2s that alternate or switch into the next part of the string, it won't change. So if I threw out an M2 from the right and feinted it, my next M2 will always come from the right. Now, since an M2 feint involves actually throwing out an M2, technically, that means your M1s will progress to the next part of your string. So if you're on a right M1 for basic, for example, your next M1 after the M2 feint will be a left M1. Or for Ippo, it'll simply just progress to the next part of your M1 string. So from your first right M1 to your second right M1. Finally, for the special abilities in this game, the body blow is a left M2 bypass, which is, as a result, perfect dodge by dodging to the right. However, it's more reliable to backdash it. When it comes to the ghost jab, that always comes from the left. However, it's unreactable, so trying to react to it is a no-go. And for the stampede ability, that is technically a right M2, so you just dodge to the left and that'll give you a PD. However, if you just dodge it whatsoever, regardless of whether or not it's PD, you still get a free M2. As for the Dempsey roll, it is a right M1, so you dodge to the left if you're flying Ippo player. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. I hope this video was informational. If you guys liked the video, you know what to do. I mentioned it in the beginning of the video, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya. Now, another thing I actually almost forgot to mention is something even more important than anything relating to feints and M1 patterns, but what side M1 feints actually tag from. Each style has a specific side that they're able to feint into when it comes to their follow-up M2 after the M1 feint. For example, every time Ippo M1 feints, it can only do an M2 from the left side, never from the right side. Here are the relevant categories and the styles which fall under what category. There's the left-sided M1 feint and the right-sided M1 feint, and you'll see it's pretty evenly distributed. Now finally, since I know most of you guys like basing your information off visual references as well as actual information, I'm providing a showcase of each style, the animations, and me dodging said punches from those styles. So yeah, that pretty much ends the video after that showcase. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.